Okay, so here in the Viima board, I have under the decentralized education projects category, filtered under the project ideas statuses. You can get to specifically the project ideas that have yet to be completely coded or started to code. Not all of these are coding ideas. As you'll see here with the Startup House 2.0 idea, that one is not a coding idea. That's reprogramming different parts of reality, such as real estate. In the peer-to-peer mentorship, this one is more about a philosophy of how to use algorithms like Uber, Tinder, and Airbnb for mentorship. Um, but some of these are actually have some designs like the social sharing circles, which is a part that we are familiar with uh, social media, such as profiles, but with a spin on them that uh, makes them better optimized for decentralized platforms, decentralized user profiles that can um, not necessarily need to be differentiated between uh, individual private accounts and public celebrity accounts and have a natural transition that actually helps people understand how to achieve that influencer status that is otherwise kind of left up to the gurus right now to help people achieve because there's that disconnect of where that transition happens. And this goes into the philosophy of how to make that transition natural as natural as signing up for a social media account today to remove that level of that disparity level of education between the how to gain that influence if that's what people like, but also uh, you know not pushing people to become an internet celebrity if they don't want to. So, the question suggestion app, you'll also find videos for this uh, on YouTube. So I'll put links to this in the description. As you can see, this animation here goes into the question suggestion app, the purpose, the application. It's a very simplified version of the greater idea of decentralized personal dictionaries that uh, can help us understand what we each mean with our own personal axioms and sayings and lessen misunderstanding, especially on the internet, but hopefully will translate offline the same way our narcissism and lack of listening to one another has spread from online to offline in the rise of the social media era. Let's see. Social sharing groups, communities. This is also another animated one that you can find on YouTube. Um, this is essentially the replacement for like Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter type algorithms. It is an algorithmic way of making communities in a way that they spread rather than a giant collect all community that everyone's lumped into together and there's no room for natural hierarchies other than the big parent corporate company is at the top and everybody else uh, relies on it to manage the community for them. So these are self managing, decentralized communities based on scientific methods of human gathering found in Priya Parker's book, The Art of Gathering, I think is what it was, or Why We Gather. I may discuss it in here. If not, feel free to reach out to me and I'll get that exactly. The wants and needs wish list app. So this one is essentially a basic tool for helping people understand their wants and needs, but also communicating their wants and needs in a way that is difficult for human beings to share, especially when they are in need. It gets more and more difficult for them to share their needs when they're not in need. And that's why needs typically don't get addressed until they are very much needed. But having a place where they are housed at all times can get people the help they need before they're in that survival mode that they have to ask for help now. I think this will entice people to serve one another a lot more in ways that we tend to be more guarded about what we want and need unless we're comfortable asking for what we want and what we need. So putting it in a way where it exists and all you have to do is be in a certain inner circle, as this explains in the image. I think that'll make more sense for how to create healthy healthy relationships in the internet age in a way that's kind of been lost. Um, so all right, these are all in the Viima board. So these are usually the parts that I talk about the most in the Viima board, but there's all sorts of other things in here that you can find when I send you access. It's very very useful, and this is the only free board I was able to find that lets me organize things the way that they work in my head that I was. So unfortunately, you do have to sign up for an account to get in, but for the time being, this is what we got. So thank you.